Can I walk around here? No, I can't leave the sick bay. I hope this becomes non-linear again in that we can actually wander around the ship. At the moment, though, we are confined to the sick bay. Alright, let's have a look around.
This is the sick bay. All ill or injured crew members are brought here for treatment. It seems everyone in a red shirt ends up in here eventually, or at least what's left of them.
The red shirt joke again. That will never get old.
As in all locations aboard the Deepship 86, a compost is located here. Ever since stairs were banned during the Ford administration, composts have been a necessity.
Composts are those teleporter things. Or those pneumatic tubes, perhaps.
This is a DNA sequencer. During a starship's travels, many different organisms and artifacts are discovered, and a DNA sequencer can come in quite handy in analyzing them. But mostly it just gets used to make sure the food replicators are working properly, and not brewing up anything that might hatch and grow inside you, for instance.
Like that thing in Space Quest 2. Just very quickly, I want to see what I lost. The fish.
Let's look at it together and see what we can see, okay?
I've got to be dead honest. It's been 2 weeks. I don't remember where I got that fish from. Okay, so we've lost those 2 things. We've lost the dustpan and broom. We've lost the Mortal Kombat blood code. No, I've got the fish back. Okay. So we've lost the Buckazoids. That's no great loss, though.
It's just a crate. It's a medibunk. This is where all ill or injured crew members are treated. It's also where they bring all the guys in the red shirts, or what's left of them, after they've suffered their inevitable calamities.
Yeah, you can't use the red shirt joke that quickly in succession. It doesn't work like that.
Stella is getting treatment for her back injury. You should be ashamed of yourself for jumping on her like that, you baby. Stella is It's a medibunk. This is one of the control panels for the biofeed scanner above the medibunk. Skilled personnel know how to properly operate this, which means you should leave it alone. It's a case of something you don't care about. Many things rest on the center console. Most of them are merely non-functional screen dressing. Pretty cool looking, eh?
There's got to be something.
Many things.
Nothing. Alright, who are you?
Jabba is an interesting-looking fellow. That is, if you think a melted purple marshmallow with an internal skeleton is interesting. He's the main research attendant here in the sickbay.
What about the one hiding behind the DNA thingy?
Apparently the doctor is way busy, as he completely ignores you.
Can I talk to him?
Your words cause everything. You get it. Apparently Your words Jabba is an interesting-looking fellow. That is, if you think a melted purple marshmallow...
He doesn't look purple to me, but then again, I am colorblind. He looks more blue than purple. This guy's purple. Alright, can I speak to Jabba?
Your words are so...
I can't speak to anyone here.
It's the keyboard for the DNA sequencer. It's the DNA sequencer scanning bed. This is where you put the food, specimen you desire to scan. It's the keyboard. Many things rest on this.
Okay, I think I've seen enough. Let's put this thingamajig on the scanner.
Boy, wouldn't it be...
An attempt was made. I don't know why I loaded there. Alright, let's put this thing on the scanner.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only. Obviously, you don't fit that description. I'm afraid I can't allow you to use it.
Come on, Jabba, be a pal. Who'll know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. It's a StarCon regulation.
Jabba the Hop. Really? I would think that this would be allowed though, because we were kidnapped and we want to try and track the people down. I'm sure StarCon will be very interested in learning who those people were. I suppose I can give this to you so you can put it on the scanner?
Excellent guess.
No.
Boy, would... It's the... Many things... It's a scale. No, you can't weigh yourself. Many things... It feels slightly... It feels...
Okay, so we need to distract this guy somehow, pretty clearly.
It's a
Question is how. He is turning his head, but I don't think that's the answer.
I'm sorry.
You summon the... It would...
This doctor is getting stuck in mid-animation.
That's... Don't... It wouldn't be... It's soft, yet firm. It wouldn't... This is... Don't...
Can I go into this tube and leave the sickbay? I don't think I can I? Can I use that? Oh, I can. No, wait. Shit. Is this a manual thing as well?
It looks a lot more detailed than it did in Space Quest 4, that's for... This is your standard compost panel, where you can get information, travel to other ship locations, or just pretend to be doing some work. It looks a lot...
Communications are offline due to short-sighted design work. When we resume service, you'll enjoy 20% savings whenever you send subspace transmissions to anyone on your boards and mortal enemies list. Lovely. Cyber functions. Pursuant to StarCon R/R subdirective G-145-938, all access to cyberspace from StarCon vessels and officers is hereby terminated. We apologize for any inconvenience. Okay. Wow, okay, so there's potentially 8 places we can go to, assuming that we can actually go there. So, we can leave the sickbay. What is this?
It looks like a cyberjack plug receptor.
We're going to use that for something, I assume.
What can be...
Database. Entity database. Oh, God. Please insert data card. We don't have that. Known races. Ah, shit. I am not reading all of this. Andromedans. Repugnant creatures are known for their mohawk doos and their well-developed prehensile snouts, with which they can pick up small objects, give themselves neck rubs, and unleash projectile mucosa at enemies. Most famous Andromedans are the two guys who rose above their humble Andromedan beginnings to become two of the most popular and successful game designers in the galaxy. They were once kidnapped and pressed into servitude by the notorious Scumstuff Corporation, but were later rescued by an unidentified... Roger, you are an unidentified worker. Oh, there's going to be so much crap here, isn't there? And the worst part is, I bet there's something here that we need to see. Like there's a clue. Ugh. It's not how big your brain is, it's what you do with it. Bjorn, Borg. There's going to be something incredible in here. Right, that's it. Okay, some more basically just takes me back to the previous screen. Alright, fine. I think I will make a save here because I suspect I'm going to need to come back and look at this at some point. Ah, this is what killed us in Space Quest 1 back in the day. Underneath the grate. Labion cave squid, yes. Fish-like mammal which has not yet realized that it's a land dweller. Thus it still tends to squirt ink which just lies ineffectively in a puddle on the ground and gets on the bottoms of your boots. Squid-like flexing motions to propel itself, a very inefficient mode of transportation when moving through rocky tunnels. It gets a lot of nasty cuts and scrapes as it tries to frog kick its way across rough stone floor. Makes it cranky, frightened by both humans and light, since it thinks it's still in the murky depths. Don't confuse it by approaching it. It will happily crush you rather than be forced to question its reality. It will also eat you. Joy. Coronians? Yeah, we saw those very briefly. Most members of Mensa, come on. Labion root monster? What was the... Yeah, it was Labion. This thing. Venus buggerfly. Carnivorous plants with roots both above and below ground. That killed us in Space Quest 2. The above ground roots collect nitrogen by capturing and digesting small stupid animals or larger stupider ones. Very cute. Roots wrap around a luckless creature. Yep. Lovely. I'm not even going to try and read that last name. We all know who it's referring to. Latex Babes, excuse me? Estros. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that out loud. I've seen the replicator mentioned a few times though, so that's making me think that maybe, just maybe, we need to do something there. Rats. We've killed one of those. They also enjoy basketball. We saw that a rat playing basketball with Roger. Alright, they're a delicacy apparently. Feelabut pod snatchers. I'm still pronouncing it Feelabut. Fine. Feelbut pod snatchers. Pestilon monochrome boys. We saw those in Space Quest 4 as well. They're named because of their unusual white and grey pigmentation. Do not make eye contact. Do not call them monochrome or boys. It's alright for them to call each other monochrome, but it's not okay for anyone. Game's being a little bit too real right now. The pot snatchers. What is that? Fleabuttinskis? The only other life form indigenous to Fleabut other than the Fleabuttinskis? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just a word for the inhabitants of Fleabut. Does it mention anything about how they can destroy Terminators? $250 times its own weight, snag a fly moving over 35 kilometers per hour, or perform several dubious tricks designed to get it onto Quadrant's 12 funniest home videos. They mostly eat sand. Ooh, the pink ones. I need to look at those. They're on Labion. They use certain berries to repel the swamp slurpees that inhabits the marshes and bayous. Yeah, this would have been very useful to know in the previous games. They will also eat the young shoots of the Wandering Atheist. What the hell is the Wandering Atheist? They're herbivorous, so they only eat creatures named. Come on. Sarians! Pride themselves on techniques of torture, mutilation, disfigurement, napkin folding, and selecting the right wine to go with whichever enemy they're eating. Very classy. Easily offended. Omnivores preferring to eat old back issues of Omni. Doesn't mention anything about Roger finishing them off. Space monkeys. The brine monkey, yes. Trademark name Space Monkey. Yep, this is all a little bit too real. I assume the rest of this is from the rest of the series, but I don't recognize it. The Vulcan nerf. Talking about Vulcans. What else is here? DNA sequencing, that seems very useful. Well, it is going to be something that we need. Ship's functions. Food replicators are available in many ships' locations. To use, enter the number. Menus are available on the seat pocket. If there is no seat pocket in front, try looking behind. Just hail the waiter. If there is no waiter, just wait. Very cute. Holojoints. What is a holojoint? Can recreate any environment for which a program exists. To start a program, enter the program number and press enter. Hey, yeah, we didn't find a CD to put inside that computer. We've got to be able to get back down there, surely. They're made from Virtuplast, a virtual material that cannot exist outside of holojoints. Attempting to remove Virtuplast items from the holojoint environment will result in their immediate disintegration. So we can't conjure something up in there and then leave. Science database. Current medical issues. Something about Kung Pao chicken. Very cute. Dr. Beverage Crusher. No. Scott Murphy. For finally figuring out how to firmly wedge his head between his own butt cheeks. Who made this game? Was it Mark Crow or Scott Murphy? I know it was one of the two. It wasn't both. Periodic table. Oh, that's in the manual, isn't it? Okay, so I'm assuming there's something there that I'm going to need. Alright, enough of that. Let's see if we can go to our quarters. Fancy place.
Your quarters are cozy and intimate, yet spacious.
They are spacious.
That's one of the advantages of living in a converted cargo hold.
This doesn't look like a cargo hold at all.
This is a Beetlejuice clamoring hagfish fern. You've tried everything you could think of to get it back to health. Unfortunately, all you could think of to do was to stand over it and say, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
If I had more talent, I would put a jump cut into the video to something entirely different.
You think about plucking one of the dead brown leaves from the dead brown plant, but that would just be adding insult to injury.
There is a lot of stuff here.
Ordinarily, your closet contains clothes. At the moment, though, you're using your clothes as knickknacks. These controls open and close the closet, perform passive handprint IDs to prevent unauthorized entry, monitor its humidity, and scan for moths. You had tickets to see Quasar live in concrete with Beatrice. That was before you got busted back down to janitor and assigned to this dad-blasted floating heck hole of a mother-talking spaceship. A note, this game has scrupulously avoided any rough language that would result in having to be rated as an adults-only computer or video game by the Game Censorship Board of the U.S. Senate Subcommittee.
When did this game come out again? I don't think that was a thing back then. I thought it was a few more years after that where everyone really got the shits. If only you could see the industry now, dude.
No, there's nothing behind the poster. No,
Just making sure.
you never learned how to work these controls. That's why you keep everything that should be in the closet scattered around the room. The closet isn't worth opening. Everything that used to be inside is scattered around the room. This is your personal compost, where you can access computer functions and room-to-room pneumatic transport. However, personal communications are sent directly to this compost station, rather than being transmitted to every compost on the ship. You wouldn't want everyone reading those steamy messages you get from Beatrice Wankmeister, would you? You bet you would.
No comments.
You've got a Quattrozebi portable quartz heater set up in here. Sure, go ahead, grab that red-hot spike of quartz, so it'll fuse your hand permanently to the heater.
I'm making a save and trying it.
Sure, go...
No. The golden mop.
Holy cow! It's your Golden Mop Award for your feats of daring do in Space Quest 1. You saw this detailed diecast model of an early StarCon Solar Scout in Milky Way today, StarCon's in-flight magazine. It seemed like a great investment at the time. This poor dresser hasn't worked right since they hauled it on board. Wait, were you looking at yourself or at the Bureau? Well, same message either way.
Bureau is a very old word for dresser.
That mop is a piece of your history.
Haven't heard it in years.
You would no sooner carry it around than you would your cigar butt. Don't pick it up. You've already broken it several times. Now the port stabilizer flange is out of configuration by 5.2%, which could result in a warp core breach. Now you've done it. You've really done it. It wouldn't be prudent to use some... You glance in the mirror. For a moment, you can almost see a silk-clad brunette overacting in a stone tower.
The hell?
For a moment, you can...
Not sure what that's a reference to.
This poor dresser... Wait, well... The surface of the mirror feels cold and hard, like glass. Yet you can see yourself in it. Strange. Don't touch that. Leave it alone, it's not a toy. Your old Xenon Army knife from Space Quest 1, in which you destroyed the powerful star generator which had fallen into the hands of the evil kleptomaniac Sarians.
I've got to be honest, I don't remember what we used the knife for in Space Quest 1.
Leave it alone, it's not a toy. Besides, you'd probably cut yourself. Like last time.
Alright, we can sort of go into the kitchen, but that's not its own separate room.
Your kitchen is in here, complete with garbage disposal, solid waste regenerator, and cockroaches. Feels clean for once.
Oh god, replicator. Oh, is that something that I need to maybe take a note of? The fact that this one doesn't have 2 and 9.
Don't try to get anything out of this machine. You'll only succeed in getting your fingers stuck to the replicator. Again. This is the screen used to display the numbers as you enter them.
We can get this stuff from the ship's database.
Your food replicator is a nightmare of pooled sticky stuff, dried on gunk, dents, dings, and roach droppings. In fact, the computer's self-survival circuitry cut in days ago and turned off service to your room.
What, so this doesn't work at all?
This access panel contains the food replicator's resonance flux shield. Your food replicator. This access panel contains the food replicator's... the thing that keeps the, well, it's got this lever with this other thing connected to it. Anyway, it keeps the replicator from getting the, never mind.
You sound like me, dude. What about these other panels?
This access panel contains the food replicator's transwarp field stabilizer. This access panel contains the food replicator's quantum inhibitor conduit. Don't try to get anything out of this. Don't try to get anything out of it. Don't try.
Work, darn you. Replicate me something.
It would have.
I wonder if I have to repair this.
Your food
Immediate thought is we have to repair that unless we can use a replicator elsewhere. But we don't have the numbers 1 or 9. What else we got in here?
It's your food replicator. Technically, it's not a replicator at all. It's a wormhole into the restaurant dimension. Your kitchen is in here. Feels clean.
I was thinking maybe I could open that. Dirty dishes?
Your quarters are cozy. That's what. Your quarters. That's. That's.
No, I can't see anything there, so it's literally just the replicator which doesn't work. What else we got?
Kryptonite lamp. Sapping. Power. Must replace bulb. Some day.
Somebody told you that Venusian mini blinds would look good in here.
They lied?
Then again, somebody told you that you look great under fluorescent lights.
They lied twice.
Your quarters. That's. Since the lamp is the main source of illumination in your room, you decide to leave it on.
The kitchen's throwing a lot of light as well.
There's no reason to open the blinds. There's nothing to see out there except billions of the same old strange new worlds, ho-hum new life, and new civilizations, and lots of stupid places for insane, death-wishing daredevils to boldly go where no insane, death-wishing daredevils have gone before.
Open the blinds, dude.
This headboard contains vital function telemetry modules, full spectrum illumination, and as the ultimate in high-tech entertainment, an 8-track player with quadraphonic sound. Boy, nothing beats being part of an advanced civilization.
I've got a couple of thoughts on that. Firstly, it's terrible putting that above there because you wouldn't want lights above you, in my opinion, as you're trying to sleep. You'd want them in front of you. Secondly, I don't know what happened with the audio effect there. I'm assuming that was intentional.
This headboard contains vital function telemetry modules, full spectrum illumination, and as the ultimate in high-tech, an 8-bore.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's intentional.
It's a picture entitled Rocket Ship to the Moon. Now, if you could only figure out what the heck a moon is. Why do all these starships come with shimmery sheets? What's so futuristic and wonderful about shimmery sheets? They wake you up at night. They're cold and slippery. And the worst thing is getting up every morning with sequins imprinted all over your face. What's up with that? That's odd. You don't remember having a second pair of pants? Maybe you've got an evil twin from a parallel universe walking around the ship naked.
What's in the pants?
You're perfectly comfortable in the pair of pants you're already wearing. We didn't make this game just so you could crawl into bed and go back to sleep. Be productive.
I see something under the bed there.
Your quarters, that's... These are your boots.
Can I take my boots?
Wait a second, you're already wearing your boots.
Different color though. Purple versus blue.
Leave them where they are. They're positioned just right for making it appear as though you simply dissolved into your bed.
Really? It doesn't look right. What is this?
Your quarters, that's... Your... It...
Nothing?
You some... Don't... We didn't make...
It totally looks like there's something hiding under the bed there.
It's a medical reference of janitor-specific ailments. Diseases of the genitalia.
I like that one.
Now's no time to catch up on your reading.
That's the sort of pun that I like.
You've been meaning to do this laundry for several months. Now it's permanently stuck to the floor. Picking up your clothes? Damn it, Roger, you're a janitor, not a responsible adult. Wow, it's your official employment rejection letter from Sierra Online at the end of Space Quest 3. It just says, not a chance. And it's signed by Ken Williams.
I remember that. He said one word, no.
You won't need it. It's reminding you of your inadequacy just fine where it is.
What else have we got here? Oh, is that the Labion Terror whistle?
Looky, it's your old Labion Terror Beast mating whistle from Space Quest 2.
How much does that thing cost us? Several million Buckazoids and at least 2 killer androids.
You won't be needing the whistle.
What else? Camcorder?
Wow, it's the old translating gadget you used to communicate with the subterranean alien back on the planet Corona in Space Quest 1. Too bad they don't make those little dilithium watch batteries anymore.
It totally looks like a camcorder. Dilithium. Is that the name of the crystal in there? Wonder if that'll come in handy.
Don't bother with it. The batteries are dead, and there's no alien language here to translate.
What else? Keycard?
This table is supposed to be used for paperwork and gracious dining. Since you do neither, you've found it makes a great place to stash all this junk you've collected over the years.
This ain't junk, this is great.
Say it's the old hint book you found in the bargain bin at the software store in Space Quest 4. This table is since you...
What is that thing next to it?
Ooh, it's your old Autobucks card from your shopping spree at the Galaxy Galleria after you saved the latex babes from that hideous sea slug in Space Quest 4. It's expired, unfortunately, but then you don't need much money aboard the Deepship. Besides, people would talk if they saw you dressed that way again.
Now, Racer. It's 2023, it's totally fine. Yeah, I don't think we can pick anything up here, but this is, honestly, this is really cool. I love this. I absolutely love this.
These chairs have been thoughtfully provided by ship services so that you can sit at your table and work.
Work?
You wonder what it feels like to sit in them.
Exactly. What else do we have here?
Hey, here's that pack of matches you stole from the Eulance Flats bar when you returned to Space Quest 1 during the time travel sequence in Space Quest 4. It's your life savings.
I assume that is the cigar that we picked up when we got kicked out of Monolith Burger.
This table is sit. This tape sit. This tape sit.
Come on.
It's a discarded cigar stub from the Galaxy Galleria in Space Quest 4.
That's the one. And that is a Pocket Power from Space Quest 4 again.
Hey, it's the Pocket Pal terminal you filched from an abandoned land speeder on Xenon during Space Quest 4.
That may be the remote control to the star generator in Space Quest 1.
Whoa, it's the star generator
Caught
remote
it.
control you found aboard the Sarian ship during Space Quest 1.
This series has taken me like about a year to put together, but my memory's not that bad.
You won't need that hint book. You've already won Space Quest 4, haven't you? The table. You won't need to take the Autobucks card. Here on the Deepship 86, there's no need for money. Everything's free. It's kind of like a Royal Caribbean cruise, only without the aerobics classes. Unless there happens to be a star generator in the immediate vicinity, this remote won't be of any use to you whatsoever. And there isn't, so there won't. The Pocket Pal will be of no use to you whatsoever. It's AC, and the ship is DC.
Worst excuse ever.
The table of... You've long since used up all the matches in this book. The cover is lying around as a souvenir.
Can I take my life savings?
You won't need that Buckazoid on board. Save it. Put it towards your education.
Put it into a savings account so it can be eaten in fees.
That cigar butt is a piece of your history. You would no sooner carry it around than you would your golden mop.
Okay, well that was a very fun detour, I guess, but right now I need to see where else I can go. If all of these are other accessible areas or not. Have I come at a bad time? I think I have. That controller. We have a lot of people up here. We have what looks like a little tray over there.
Sorry, you're not authorized to contribute to the captain's log.
Oh no. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Alright, I wonder if I missed something by letting that guy just leave. The captain's log.
It's Commander Kielboss's kitty litter box. This is where he makes most of his best command decisions. Not to mention all of his log entries.
I'm not a fan of that. Kielbasa, again, I do wonder if this is a Kilrathi reference from Wing Commander.
With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can override navigational subsystems, access ship-wide computer functions, perform sensor sweeps, and get to level 6 of Super Nunzio World.
This console looks very uncomfortable and very impractical.
With these controls, With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can adjust the elevation, tilt, rotation, and firmness level of his command center. And if you put in a quarter, it'll massage 320 different acupressure points.
A quarter as opposed to a buckazoid. Game is slipping. It looks like an SNES controller, but it's missing the red button up there.
This is the bridge, the very nerve center of the SCS Deepship 86. The enormous Deepship cost millions of buckazoids to build, stretches on and on seemingly without end, and limps along at a snail's pace. Sort of like the first Star Trek movie.
Oh no, you can't say that. I mean, you're not wrong, but you can't say that. You're not allowed.
The main view screen is filled with stars and distant galaxies, representing untold scores of civilizations, and a vast amount of untapped knowledge that could reshape the way we think of time and space. But more importantly, you're proud to notice that your new squeegee didn't leave any streaks. That's the schematic diagram of Deepship 86. This is the bridge. That's the science officer.
Okay, the red one's over there. I'm just blind. Also, I don't know how my SNES controller is configured.
That's the communication officer.
Science, comms.
That's Dorf, the ship's chief of security.
Can I talk to you?
You drool in... You get it. You get it. You start to say something. Your words...
I really can't speak to anyone here.
That's Commander Kielbasa, dummy.
I can speak to the commander, though.
Janitor Wilco, you must have something to clean up somewhere. Make yourself scarce. We're very busy up here. Janitor Wilco.
I'm very impressed that he knows who we are.
Boy, wouldn't it be...
He's a commander of a starship, but he is in tune with his crew. He did say thank you to everyone. He knows who we all are. That's good. I like that. I don't think there's anything we can do up here.
Occupado. Yeah, you rearrange the commander's chair and he'll rearrange you. You perform a quick structural integrity scan, followed by a sweep for subspace particle emissions, and finish with a level 3 diagnostic.
I liked pushing the green button best.
It wouldn't be prudent. It feels...
Okay, immediate thought is there's nothing that I can do up here. Let me go back here and see what else we got. I saw the brig. 8 rear. Hollow cabana. Holy Christ. Alright, let's go in the brig. Looks like all of these areas might actually be explorable. And that's extremely concerning. Mr. Soylence. Very nice. Okay, so this one appears to work.
This is the replicator hatch, a sliding door behind which is hidden the vortex resonance coils and the molecular soylentization generator.
I don't think that was the same as the one we saw in our quarters, but this one's in much better condition and it has the 1 and 9 buttons, or whatever buttons were missing.
This is the screen used to It sure does.
Right, we're in the brig.
This is the brig area, where transgressors are placed for punishment and supposedly rehabilitation.
Emphasis
In
on
order
supposedly.
to strike fear into the hearts of evildoers, the cells are labeled 105 and 106. Actually, these are the only 2 cells aboard the ship. But the subtlety is usually lost on these intergalactic criminal types.
I don't know if that sound effect at the end of the second line there is actually part of the audio clip, or if that was maybe one of the toilets flushing, perhaps.
In order to strike fear into the hearts of evildoers, the cells are labeled 105 and 106. Actually, these are the only 2 cells aboard the ship.
Okay, so it wasn't part of the audio effect. What the actual hell was that? Like an invisible monster hiding behind 105.
It's a hovercraft for transporting replicated food.
It's a trolley. Jesus. I think it's terrifying. I'll take that tablecloth.
You summon the ability to leave it alone. This is a standard Transwarp class starship food replicator, where the Starcon elite meet to eat.
Nothing about Mrs. Soylent. Kill Kielbasa. Killing the commander. Dang. Just want to see if this thing pops out so I can look at it.
It's a hovercraft for transporting replicated food. Cell 106 is infamous for the permanent blood stain on the floor. That stain came into being when Red Bovine, a Ferbangi slave trader, tried to escape by crawling out the porthole and immediately imploded. That's why they refer to it as the Red Blood Cell.
Also, wouldn't there be a lot more blood than just that one little puddle there?
It's a plain quadro-full cot. You don't get those nice shimmery sheets when you're in the brig.
But we discussed how much the sheets suck in our room. I want to get a look at this.
There she blows, the creature from the ego. That sucker looks like he could nip the macadamias off a Labian terror beast in full dervish.
It does look pretty terrifying. And it looks like we might actually be able to deactivate it here.
This sensor pad controls the force field grid for Cell 106.
Why are there no guards here? What's stopping anyone from walking up here
This sensor pad controls the force field grid for Cell 105.
and just toggling it on? Or off?
Now there's a real bright idea, but then perhaps you'd deserve the consequences. If the force field were turned off, you'd be the only one to suffer the consequences. In the event that someone might be looking over your shoulder, we'll save your embarrassment for another time.
It's fine, I can deal with it. I'm putting this on YouTube, for fuck's sake.
You flick the force field on and off just so you can feel like a real security guy. You flick the force...
Okay, so we can flick this on and off. But why would we want to do that?
This is the... But this...
I can't help but note that these are 7-digit numbers, and we need to put a 7-digit number into the replicator. Surely that's not a thing. 84792. Can I use any of the facilities in here?
Gazing out at the peaceful stars drifting slowly by, you can't help but be overcome with a sense of your own total insignificance. Cell 1, that's why they... This is a dispenser that releases a steady stream of dihydrogen oxide, a colorless limpid liquid compound that acts as a solvent and keeps bodily tissues from dehydrating.
It's also the primary component of acid rain, and It's used in nuclear reactors, and it's an absolutely terrible thing. Should be banned immediately.
The sink appears to be malfunctioning. One of these days, you'll have to get around to asking someone to fix it. But then again, the prisoners in the brig don't really deserve such luxuries, do they?
Why is deserve in red? Very harsh. Alright, so we can sit here and contemplate life. Not entirely sure why we do that though. Can we use the toilets?
Hey, we're trying for a PG-13 rating here.
We cannot.
Wow, you can see your house from here.
Sector 6 rules. Major Tom was here. Very nice.
So that's why This is a receptacle for digestive byproducts, which are then briefly churned with dihydrogen oxide, and then transported under pressure into the tanks in the replicator's sub-processing unit.
Everything was great about that sentence until the very last three words.
This is a receptacle for
Replicator sub-processing unit. Oh no.
This is a dispenser.
Was I saying dihydrogen oxide, not dihydrogen monoxide? Don't know how I feel about that.
It's a plain. This is a dispenser. Inside this cell is the creature from the Ego, a bizarre invisible monster caught on Rialto 4. It's violent, brutal, bloodthirsty, and is a sucker for insincere flattery.
In that case, can we talk to it?
Nobody out there can hear you from here.
Hey, handsome. Let's see that pretty little face. Impressive.
It is.
It's a
I was hoping we could grab this transporter, or this tablecloth off the transporter perhaps. But that is not a thing. I don't immediately see anything else I can interact with.
This is but the sun.
There is a working replicator down here though, and that may be useful to know. Right, what else we got? Atria. I have no idea what that could be. A parody of Atrium, perhaps? Some sort of bar.
This is 8 Rear,
The lounge.
the ship's lounge. Here crew members come to relax, drink, eat, converse, party, hit on each other, brawl, hurl, pass out, and intrude on each other's personal space.
Sounds like a pretty good place to me. We are hurtling through space, look at that.
A peaceful panorama of light, color, and limitless black space drifts quietly by the window. The infinite flow and ebb of matter and energy dancing around itself in a never-ending light show of creation.
I want to see something blow up.
I've just realized that if we're traveling through space, heading towards where Sharpay told us to go, that means we're not going to get back down to Polysorbate 60. So anything on that planet that I've potentially missed is missed. Which means we'll never get to chat to Fester again, perhaps. Again, this looks like a single screen and I can't navigate out of here.
This view screen lets 8 Rear patrons watch the subspace transmissions of Major League Hairball games, Monday Night Bunyan Ball, and the occasional pay-per-view Orat fights. An unusual plant specimen that someone left behind, it appears to be thriving here. Perhaps it prefers beer and popcorn to fertilizer and you-grow-it lamps. Wow, this guy's really pounding down the popcorn. If he keeps it up at this rate, an intervention may be called for.
Can I have some?
Now this guy is a cool one. He's slam and bruise like many of the folks on the Space Quest team are going to do once they ship this Chartbuster.
I don't know how this game's sold. I should really look that up.
Just walk over and feel them up. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. And we're sure you'll enjoy it when you're the recipient of some nice phaser blast ventilation.
You can't do that, I'm your janitor. I'm not trying to feel you up though, I'm trying to grab that popcorn.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you at least?
Don't interrupt them. They're on break. Besides, you stand less of a chance of being insulted or shot down. A guy can only take so much of that. Don't interrupt.
Nothing. Alright, what about this dude?
And we thought the Elvis 1987 poster in our office was tasteless. And we thought the... Yeah, just walk over and... Don't interrupt them. They're on break.
Same thing.
The ambient light in 8 rear is soft and diffused, and the light fixtures blend in with the decor to a fare-thee-well. 2 scientific dudes stand by the back window, talking stars. It's hard to say anything sarcastic about them, since stargazers are inherently cool.
They are. If you're a stargazer, chat, you're awesome. Just saying.
Don't interrupt them. Yeah, just...
Alright, nothing here. And I've also just realised that this is a place that we saw in the intro. This is one of the screens where Kielbasa was thanking everyone. Also where Roger was vacuuming, perhaps. Hello, Cabana. What have we got? That sound effect, I love that.
The walls have a flat, nondescript finish. Very deceiving when you consider what this room is capable of.
Absolutely.
This is the hollow joint. There are the usual compost and transport tubes as in all other ship locations. There is a special control panel near those. Otherwise, the room is nearly devoid of features. The truly unique thing about this room is its ability to be programmed to replicate just about any setting and situation. It is often used for training as well as for periods of recreation by the crew.
I'm not a terribly creative person, so I'm struggling to think how we could use this to potentially get an object or use it to our advantage.
Those little red things are transporter station status lights. You have no idea what they mean. They always look that way. These are the holodeck programming controls.
Those buttons seem to be self-explanatory. I wonder what they do.
You wonder what they do, so you've never used it. My god, though, we've got a hollow joint, a hollow cabana, and now a hollow deck. Make up your mind, game. Make up your mind. Oh. How many digits is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 digits. Okay, so we need a 7-digit code for the replicators, which we can get out of the ship's database. And we need an 11-digit code for the hollow something. That's what I'm calling it from now on, the hollow something. What else we got? Roger's quarters, we've been there. Shuttle bay entrance. Alright, we're not getting through there. Welcome to the Deepship 86. Commander Kielbasa.
This is the entrance to the shuttle bay. Since the shuttle bay is a hazardous area, and since visiting dignitaries often pass through these doors, security is extremely tight here.
No loitering. We are loitering. Okay. Game, come on.
Mmm, a nice fatty donut. Magnum will probably scarf this down. After all, he needs to maintain his boyish tub-o'-guts figure.
I'm guessing that's Magnum here.
This is Magnum Opus. You owe him 200 buckazoids from a lost bet. In other words, scram.
He can't see us where we are. We're hiding behind this little pillar here.
This is your dear crewmate, Chesbro. This massive door leads to the shuttle bay. Since the shuttle bay is completely depressurized every time a shuttle lands or takes off, this door must be incredibly thick and impenetrable. Not unlike you.
It could be worse. That joke could have gone much, much worse.
It's one of 2 buttons you must push simultaneously to open the shuttle bay door.
Ooh, we need 2 people to open this.
This massive, not unlike... This is... That...
Don't think there's
The
anything
wall
else here.
sconces help make this painting very moody and atmospheric, don't you think?
It does. It's very fancy.
This is...
Alright. Are you going to beat me up over these 200 buckazoids?
Magnum doesn't talk. He fancies himself to be like one of those Buckingham Palace types.
Again, we're in Ernon, not the Earth
You
universe.
consider saying hi until you remember how dedicated he is to his job, and you wouldn't want him to get in trouble for slacking off while on duty. I wonder why you don't worry about that for yourself.
I'm too busy looking at those set of eyes up there and Big Brother is watching. Can I walk in front of you at least? What about your donuts? Can I take a donut? A delicious donut?
You summon the ability to leave it alone.
No. Would you be interested in eating a raw fish?
That's an interest. It probably...
No. Alright. I'm running out of destinations. We've been to the sickbay. The last one is the transporter. There's nothing more after that. And we've seen this a few times as well. Saw it right at the start in split screen, and we saw it when we came back from Polysorbate 60 with Stella.
Any unassimilated subatomic particles from the transport process are deposited here. This helps to keep the transporter pads dust-free. And don't worry, they almost never have any problems with important parts not making it through the transport process properly.
That's great. I love that. It's where the bits that don't transport properly get stored and fills it out. Love it.
The transport alcove contains transport pads for up to 5 crew members and/or supplies. Above each is a subatomic particle scanner. Due to its proximity within the ship, many of the superstructure elements of Deepship pass through the transport chamber. You'll probably remember this quite well since escaping from dangerous situations. After all, it is your forte.
Don't really follow that one. It looks like part of the picture is missing.
Due to its proximity within the ship, it's called a superstructure. You hardly fit the description of someone who could have the slightest effect on it. Besides, you don't want to mess with something that maintains the structural integrity of the ship. But then it is you we're talking about here. Nonetheless, pay no more attention to it.
Yeah, I can do that.
The transport room is a very important place aboard any Starcon ship, and for safety reasons tends to be one of the cleanest. You ought to know. The transport room is This droid is the teleporter station technician. It's all business. This is the transporter control panel. The droid assigned here handles all transport duties from this station. This is due to its, you'll probably...
I think that might be it.
You give it a tap, but nothing happens.
The fact we can interact with that at all is surprising.
That's delightfully non-helpful. The transport all...
Yeah, we can't go anywhere because we are hurtling through space at the moment.
It's interested only in its job. It has not one speck of personality. In fact, it could make you look like the life of any party.
Damn. Okay, what am I doing? The goal is to get that onto the DNA scanner. The problem I've got is the so-called Doctor, Jebba the Hub, or whatever his name is. I should really say it's, but that seems very wrong. Whatever their name is, that's right. I'll get my pronouns correct. Whatever their name is, they're keeping an eye on us, so we need to find some way to distract him. My immediate thought is maybe we can use the replicator to create something and give it to him to distract him, but I don't know what he would like.